Hey guys, it's AJ, and today we are doing a What is Procreate? This is not the first Procreate related video that I have done. I have done an how to animate, but I realized that video was quite quick and was kind of possibly would be hard to do. So if you guys would like me to do that again a bit slower and a bit more like make it easier to understand, then please leave a comment down below, and yeah, if you want me to, I will do. So anyway, so yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so first we're gonna want to go into Procreate, and so this is all my art I've done. And so we shall click on the plus in this top right corner, and these are all the canvases that there is, different pixel sizes. So they're all different sizes, and this little button up here can make us edit our own size for the screen, but but I always just pick screen size. Sorry, can't talk. And yeah, so this is our plain white canvas. Right, so let's look at pens first. So this paintbrush up here that's highlighted blue at the moment, if we just click on that, it will give us our menu of different pens. So I'm just going to make my color for my ink black. So we just click on this colored circle up the top, and then click a black color. So back to here, so monoline is just like that. It's just a normal black line. And then there's loads of different ones you can try, like blotchy. Did I click on that? Oh, blotchy comes out kind of like that. Water pen comes out like that. Brush pen is like this. And yeah, so streaks looks like that. Say you wanted to make your pen like thicker or thinner. This like dial on the side here, we just want to drag this one down to make it smaller and up to make it bigger, but I'm just gonna leave it at that percent, which is 16%. And this one down here is the opacity of your brush, so it can either be nothing or max, which is normal black full opacity. And so there's loads of different sections on here. There's water, so like these are like spray paint, so like water drip looks like that, and blotch is just blotches of paint. These are like spray paints, and so these ones are like blurry, so like wash will come out as a thicken that line with the side dial, just like, very light blurry sort of thing. Organic is all like nature sort of stuff, so you could use it for like drawing trees. Or this one is, what brush is this? Snow Gum. Interesting name. And so that one comes out kind of purpley, blacky. I think it is a dual color one. So some brushes, when you come into your color palette, which is this circle up in the top right corner, if we go to the disc menu, these different sections down here, I'll show you what they all mean in a minute, but disc is the first one. These two colors up here are both black at the moment, but this black was made on a purple scale, and this one was on the red. So say we change that to red, and then we draw with this again, it's going to come out more red than black. and on black we bring it right down. So yeah, it is a dual color brush, which some of them will be, and you'll be able to tell which one is which. Anyway, so industrial is like sort of like, you know, caged. It looks kind of like bricks for a house, and corrugated iron is obviously roof material, or though sometimes it can be on walls. So this is all kind of like stuff you would see on like houses. Luminous is like lights, and quite pretty lights as well. So yeah, there's loads of different brushes you can look at. These are elements. Water would look like this sort of ripple thing, which you can hardly see in all the other black. And yeah, so there's loads of different brushes to look at. And these two squares at the top, they are your layers. And so to name your layer, just click on the layer, this menu will come up. The top one is rename, and we can just name it, I'm going to name it pens. This plus up here, makes new layers. If you want to get rid of a layer, swipe to the left, and then you can either duplicate it, so copy that layer, or delete it, and it will be deleted. And so to turn off a layer so you cannot see it anymore, so the layers are like, if I was on this top layer, which I am, the highlighted blue one is the one I am on, I can't touch anything on the pens layer, so like whatever I do on there won't affect this. So anyway, if I want to turn it off, I just hit that tick and it's gone. The next thing we're going to look at is the rubbers. So I'll fill this page with color. And so if you just hold this pen, this circle, hold the circle, and then you can drag it in here, release, and it will fill the entire page, or whatever shape you have drawn on that page, as long as all the lines are connected. Okay, so rubber. There's loads of different options for rubber, as you can see. It's all the same options as were on the pen options. I often use airbrushing when I'm doing it. It's just a nice smooth line, blurs the edges. And say you wanted to edit your pen a little. So you just click onto that pen that you've already selected, and then all these dials up here, spacing would be like the spacing of the pixels. So these are just dots. Streamline is so that it will make your lines nice and smooth. No spacing for this. Jitter, pretty much the same thing as spacing. It just makes it more jittery. They look like kind of like foam beads at the moment. And fall off just kind of makes it kind of blurry. And so, yeah, you can play with all that. We'll name this one Rub. Anyway, so we'll create another layer, and on this layer, pardon me, I'm stretching. Anyway, so on this layer, we will look at this finger at the top here that is now highlighted. So first, you're going to want to get two colors, because this is a blurring tool, and so I'm just going to go onto soft brush because it will make life much easier, because it's such a big brush, and we'll find a nice color to go with it. This blue will do. Not that pretty, but that's fine. Playing with the opacity again. Right, so if we click back onto our blending brush, we just have to draw along the seam or wherever you want blended, and it blends the colors together. And Procreate is the thing that I use for all of my thumbnails and arts that you see on my channel. So if you see the blending, which is something I do often, then you'll know what that means, how to do that now. Yeah, that was kind of a random fact, actually. Anyway, so yeah, this is a blending tool. I really like messing around with the colors. And yeah, looks kind of like an ocean in this part here, inside that funny two-colored circle. So yeah, that's what the blending tool does, and the blending tool has all the different options that the pen and the rubber have as well. But I always use soft brush to blend mine. I don't know why, it's just my preference, but you can use any of these different ones, and they'll do the same. It will just be more splashery like that, which looks quite cool in these colors here. So this is blending, so we'll name this one blend. And yeah, right, so I'm going to create another layer. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Okay, we've got one more thing to show you guys, so we'll turn that off, that layer. I'm going to go back to monoline. And so if you're drawing a line and you need it to be straight, just draw your line. And if you hold the pen down, it will automatically make this line straight for you. You can move it around, adjust the length, and do this with it. So yeah, it just depends on your preference, or no, not on your preference, just depends how you want your line to be. So you can make arches, come on, there you go, and you can do shapes. And if we hit edit shape, it will give us different options for our shape. And just make sure that edge is closed. Then we can drag our color in and it will fill that square. But say, and to do an undo, just tap with 2 fingers on the screen, or you can use this undo button on the dial on the side. And 3-finger tap is to redo whatever you've just undone. 4-finger tap gets rid of your the menus and stuff, so you can use the entire screen. To get them back, just click on this button up there. And say that your color went outside the lines. Yeah, let me create a shape here. Okay, so say your color went outside the lines and it colored in the whole thing. To stop that, just hold down your pen when you drag your color in. Okay. So to stop that happening, just put your pen down, and I obviously don't need to do it because it's not going outside the lines, but just hold your pen down and drag it to the left until they fill in the lines. And yeah, that's shapes and all of that stuff. And so now if we go, we'll look at these buttons up here. So, pardon me, this arrow, if we click on this, we can just move this around. This is on uniform, so we can shrink it, we can make it bigger, and it won't affect the shapes in the slightest. But if we hit freedom, then we can affect the shapes when we move them around. Wrap, I like to play with. It's just, you can wrap them all up in a nice star. Actually, it does look kind of like a star. So yeah, you can just wrap these up. I've never actually had any need to do this in my art, but I like to have fun with it anyway. I always tried to put it back into a normal position, but I can never get there. Okay. So yeah, does that fit screen? It just makes it fit into the screen. Flip horizontally, obviously does what it sounds like. It flips the thing horizontally. And to zoom in and out, you just pinch on the screen. And to go back to bring your canvas into full screen, just pinch on the screen and it will come up. Whoop! Drop my pen. Come up on the screen. Filling in the screen perfectly. That's what I needed to say. Okay, so now this backwards 2. When we're doing, say you wanted to move something like this half here. This dotted line will appear when you're drawing. Once that's there, you can just click on the arrow and then you can move that one particular spot. That's why it's not working, because I'm on wrap. Yeah, so it'll just move that one particular spot. And that's all I ever use this for, but there are other settings like remove and add and invert, copy and paste, further, which is the funny line, save and load, color fill, and clean. And so now if we go on to the adjustments, which is the one next to the backwards 2 on the left, the wands looking thing, there are loads of different things on here. So like color balance, if you click on that, click layers, we can drag tool, no, I keep forgetting, it's these dials down the bottom, and we can change them to cool, from cool to warm, or just back at the normal original color. And it's the same with all of these ones here. Another one is, need a stretch. Okay, so color, Gaussian blur is pretty much just blurs the lines. That kind of makes me feel a little sick. I'm gonna stop doing that. And so yeah, that's all I've ever actually used them. I've only ever actually used those on there, those settings, but there are loads of different ones that you can do, like bloom, I've used before. You just blurs the lines, just edit this a little bit, and yeah, so it just it makes them look like neon lights, sorta, sometimes. If you get all the, settings right, it can look like neon lights. Like now, that looks kind of like a neon light to me. I don't know why, it just does. And so yeah, there's loads of different settings on here you can play with. And so if we go onto the spanner, which will be the last thing we look at, you can insert a file, a photo, or you can take a photo. This is my workspace. Yes, it is very messy. That's a squishy. So yeah, you can take a photo, which I'm not going to take. You can add text. Hi. And then the AA in the top of the keyboard will give you different ways to edit your text and such. And then canvas is the next setting. Animation assist is what I always use when I am doing an animation. And so on the settings for your animation, you can make frames per second is how fast it will be. It can be insanely slow or very fast. The slower it is, the more choppy the movements will be. Onion skin frames do something. Yes, I am. If I'm being honest, I don't know what an onion skin is. So, yeah, I'm not a professional animator. Anyway, so loop is the one it is on. It will just go around the rotation, the animation until you press stop. Ping pong, it will make your animation go from the first frame it'll bring you to the last frame, the first frame, the last frame, just goes back and forth. And one shot, it just goes through the shot once. And so, okay, we don't need settings anymore. Come back onto the spanner, turn off animation assist. Drawing grid is just a drawing grid, you know, you draw with a grid. Turn it back on. Edit drawing grid. I like to use the symmetry on here because I think it's fun. It just means you'll draw the same thing on both sides. And you can edit the symmetry all you want. You can edit all of it. It all does different things. This is just another funny drawing grid. This one is, I think, another sort of symmetry one. And this one, the symmetry, you can change it to be horizontal line, or a cross, or like a pizza. So yeah, I don't need the drawing grid on, so I'll just turn it off, and then flip canvas horizontally and vertically. And then canvas information is just like the pixel width and stuff. Share is literally just sharing. Animated PNG and a PNG image is just an image where the background is transparent, so you could stick it on the front of, say, your video, and you'll just see the picture. You won't see the background because the background is see-through. And then a GIF is, well, you know what a GIF is. It's just like a little cute picture that moves. And then a JPEG is what I usually send my images as if they're not animations. If they're animations, they're usually a GIF for me, but it's just up to you. Video is, this thing the iPad kind of records what you've been doing on Procreate if you want the time-lapse recording on. So play time-lapse recording. This is everything I've just shown you how to do, playing in 5 minutes, 5 seconds. That makes more sense. Preferences is just, you know, your preferences for your canvas. Helps you. And then to go back into your gallery, just hit the gallery in the top left corner. And that's it, really. Yeah, that's everything. So, hey guys, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about Procreate. And if you enjoyed, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.